Today in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the first release from Scale Trains. These are the Kit Classic Easy to Assemble Evans double door boxcars. I got the chassis system and the Boston and Maine. So let's have a look at these things. Now this is what you get in the box from Scale Trains, and I ordered these directly off their website, and they got it to me in 2 days, which was quite surprising actually. They didn't sit on it for 2 or 3 days before they finally shipped it. They got it out the next day after I ordered it, when they became available to the email message that I received. So you get a couple stickers here from Scale Trains there, and you also get a business card, and you get this nice little brochure talking about their products that they're still releasing later on this year. This is a really nice brochure. It's got a nice little insert here as well. That's really cool. That's worth just hanging up somewhere in the house. That's a really nice photograph. You can see here, this is the Kit Classics. These are the initial release of Kit Classics for this year. December 2015, actually it ended up being mid-January when they became available for purchase on their website. So that's pretty nice to see that. That was a nice little brochure they threw in the box. So let's go ahead and open one of these up. I'm going to assemble one of these in this video. I'm not going to do both, but we'll get to see what kind of a kit these are, and if they're easy or difficult. I'm pretty sure they're quite easy to put together, but we'll see. Who knows? And we'll see. We'll do a little bit of a close-up on the lettering and stuff like that and the painting. So these are not highly detailed models. They don't have separately applied anything as far as I know, except maybe the brake wheel. The brake wheel in there looks like it might be separately applied. But yeah, these are just you know, basic, you know, low-cost things, and I just wanted to see what they were like. So here we go. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Athearn Blue box from back in the day. Okay, so this is what's under the internal packaging there. Looks like we got ourselves some instructions and some information telling us about this Evans double door 8-foot boxcar here. And we've got our warranty information right there. You can pause that and read it if you would like. And then there's our instructions right there. So yeah, I think I can handle this one, but you never know. I haven't had any beers in me yet, so I should be able to manage that. So here's the underside. See, everything's molded, but there's quite a bit of detail there, even though it's molded in. And there's a good amount of weight to that. You can see the weight right there, and the weight is screwed in. So you can remove that if you want to. Yeah, it does remind me a lot of the Athearn Blue box. So let's see here. Nice soft protective plastic here, just like everything else seems to come with nowadays. And we got ourselves some wheels and some couplers. And there's the couplers. They're brown in color. They're plastic. They got the little spring on the side of them as well, a little brass or copper spring. And it looks like they screw in as well. I'm not sure if these are McHenry or who makes these. Can't really, there's no brand on them, so they look pretty prototypical though as far as the size goes. But and here's the wheels, and they're a nice metal wheel too. Looks like very nicely done wheel. I'll go ahead and get this out of the bag. See how difficult that is. Oh, and we have some screws. One fell out too. And that wheel just popped out of the truck, so we can take a close-up look at that. It's a really nice wheel. That just snaps back in there, no big deal. So, one screw came out with the truck, but I don't see any more. I didn't hear anything fall, but that doesn't mean anything having carpet in your house. So, I'm going to have to search around and see if that just popped out when I was pulling those out, or if it actually was missing it. Either way, that could be a bummer if I can't find it. I'd say the lettering and the numbers and everything look very nice on this. Company in China that made all this stuff for them did a really nice job on the paint. I'm pretty happy with the paint job on this. It's very smooth, very even. It's not too thick. I can see one thing though. Normally you'd have that information right here. That's just molded in. That little plaque right there is just molded in. So it's kind of got some little scribbles on it, like there's some writing on it. But so that's kind of strange. But the brake wheel is definitely separately applied. See it there. So yeah. So let me get this assembled. Let me see if I can find that screw, because that's going to put a real kink in our style here. All right, I did find the screw, so let's get started on this. This should be pretty easy to do. In fact, I don't think I need to look at the instructions for this one. Of course, the trick is getting the bit to stay in the screw there. How's about we do it that way? Put the screw in to the truck and then screw it down. That's the way we're going to do that. It's quite a tight fit, that screw going in that hole. Yeah, those are definitely tight-fitting screws. New plastic. Alright, let's just back that off a little bit. Now it floats really nice. Okay, now let's see how much fun it is to do the couplers. I have a feeling these are going to be a little bit funner. Now, one thing I noticed right away about these couplers, now that I have them out of the package, is there's no trip pin on these. And there's no trip pin included in the package either. So these are actually really nicely prototypical looking. I'm really impressed with these. I'm kind of wondering if these are scale Transozone couplers, because I've never seen anything. We'll do a close-up look at these once I get this all assembled. But this is one of those things too, you know, if you want to have air hoses running between the box cars, you can always add those. Just glue them up under here. Just kind of set that spring, that coupler over that spring, and just kind of work it in there, and it pops in. So I'm happy with the way these plastic pieces are fitting together. They're well made. So, which, you know, to say that about a company in China is kind of saying a lot, but I'm actually impressed. They use good plastic on this. It doesn't feel soft or flexible or flimsy. It feels really solid. Alright, so the final step is to just go ahead and put the shell on. And it looks like we've got some snaps right here that snap into the side of the shell on either side. So we'll get those in first. I'm not sure how far up they are though. This goes on only one way. The little snaps, little recesses are offset, so that only goes in on one side. Well, there you go. Learned something new there. There we go. And there we go. One completed boxcar. Look at that. Let's get this thing on the layout and take a close-up look at it. Alright, I've got both of them assembled here. And the first thing I notice is these things roll extremely well. In fact, they almost got away from me on the other side of the layout over there. So, as I mentioned before, the lettering is very crisp on these things. They did a really good job in the factory with the lettering, and the paint's really well done too. It's not too thick or anything like that. Basic details, they're molded on except for the brake wheel, and they're all the same. They're physically the same car. All of these are just different road names and road numbers, and there's quite a large number of road names or road numbers that they've done. So that's pretty impressive. I'm quite happy with the way these things look, and even though the grab irons and the steps and everything else here are molded on, they're very crisp, they're very sharp, they're really well done, so they stand out. You know, when you look head on, they don't really look like they're not separately applied. They don't look like they're molded on. So the moldings that they did for these, they did a really good job, I think, on that. So let me zoom in on the couplers here and let you have a look at those. You can see the level of detail they went to on these couplers. I'm very impressed with that. And let's have a look at the other one here. Here's the other side of it. They're very well done. They look very prototypical. In fact, I wouldn't mind buying some of these couplers by themselves, actually, because those are really nice looking couplers. Compare that to a Katy coupler. See, there is some differences. So overall, I really like these for $14. I think there's a pretty good value here. The rivet detail on these is really nice, and it pops out with the silver roofs that are on here. And you know, being a kit, they're already disassembled, so if you want to weather them and graffiti them, well, that's half of the work already done for you, is the disassembly of it. So you know, you can weather the trucks and stuff like that, which I may do. I know these guys in their videos I watched are really big on prototypical, and even though these are not highly detailed, I'd be curious to see what the actual prototype looks like of these, and maybe weather them accordingly. But I'm really happy with these. They're basic details, you know, they're nothing, you know, that's really gonna jump out as being insane with the details as far as that goes. But you know, for 14 bucks, I'd say these are definitely nicer than the offerings that Athearn has in the ready-to-run stuff. And the paint job and the lettering is really well done. And they're very sturdy. They don't feel like they're gonna break if they come off the layout or something like that. So, you know, these things can be manhandled a little bit without having to worry about breaking delicate details and piping and, you know, whatever else you got on here. So anyway, the one thing I would have only gotten one of them just to see what they're like, but $10 shipping, I figured I might just as well make it worth my while and get two of them, get a couple different road names. And I'm quite happy with these. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of their products as they release them. So anyway, that'll conclude this assembly and review video. And thank you very much for watching.